Hey everyone, and welcome to 1.21 Gigawatts. I am Peter, that is Connor, and this is our trailer talk show where seemingly every other week, because that just seems to be the pattern recently, we get a bunch of trailers over the past couple of weeks and we watch them all, we talk about them one by one on this show, and at the end of the episode we'll give our pick of the favourite of the batch, favourite of the episode. I mean, this isn't intended to be a every other week show, but it seems to have just worked out that way, because if there's not a lot in a week, we won't do an episode, but usually 2 weeks is enough to
it was definitely
batch.
Weekly over the summer.
It was, yeah, more trailers in the summer, I guess, but yeah, so yeah, we got a nice match. We got about 13, I think, trailers to dive into this week, and we'll get started with the headliners. Biggest trailer, no doubt, is probably The Lion King, which is the live-action kind of remake of The Lion King, as you would expect, because it's called The Lion King. Just in case you were confused. Just in case you were confused by the title, just, you know, they should have changed it to The Lion Who Would Be King or something like that, just to throw people off. Or
no, they shouldn't.
The Feline Royalty. That actually sounds like a better movie, quite frankly.
It really doesn't.
It does. Feline Royalty sounds much better. Because then there's a chance it'd be a tiger, and tigers are cooler than lions. So,
are they though?
They are. Tigers are cooler. I'll take a panther over a lion as well.
But they're not the king of the jungle.
Look at that big stupid mane. That's the only reason they got that stupid
majestic
nickname.
mane.
Why are you defending cats all of a sudden?
Lions are cool cats.
Nah, there's at least like 3 or 4 wild cats that I prefer over a lion. No, a black and white tiger though, there you're really into something.
That's called a zebra.
I hope you get comments calling you an idiot for not knowing that tigers can be black and white.
I know, I just wanted to make a point.
Anyway, so yes, Lion King. What are your feelings on the original film? I guess that's important for the discussion here.
It is amusingly one of the few Disney films I've not seen all the way through.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
I was expecting you to have loved Lion King for some reason.
It's one of a handful I never really saw. I've seen bits.
I didn't see it as a kid, funnily enough. I only saw Lion King because I was dragged to a theatre re-release of it about 5 years ago. Friends at university insisted that I come see Lion King. And it was a really bad day for it as well, because I got a new TV that day and I wanted to go home and worship my new TV.
So sad. The theatre TV is bigger.
Well, it is, but I mean, I wasn't really that caring about Lion King, to be honest. I was more interested in coming home and sitting on my TV. But it's not bad. It's not Lion King's not bad. People like it a lot. I get why people like it. Few too many songs for my taste.
There's less in this version, I believe.
There's less, but they're still there.
Yeah, I think they're only doing like 4 or 5 compared to the 9, 10.
Yeah, but see, Jungle Book was kind to me. Jungle Book basically removed them completely.
Yeah, we had what, 2 or 3?
They didn't do much singing in Jungle Book. I felt like it was like into the score a lot more than it was actually them singing. Maybe I
mean, we definitely had Bare Necessities.
Yeah.
And we had Wanna Be Like You.
Yeah.
Those two stick vividly in my head.
I thought I remember much singing in Jungle Book. And I like Jungle Book. Well, I was surprisingly into Jungle Book because I didn't think I was going to be. I was pleasantly
really
surprised.
Good movie.
And it's worth mentioning it's the same director. It's Favreau who's coming back to do this one. So I mean, there's reason to trust them. The trailer's basically a shot-for-shot remake of Circle of Life. That's the moment, right? It's just seeing all the animals look up and Simba's held up into the sky.
Yeah. Have you seen the side by side?
I saw a couple of I didn't watch anything that put them all together. I just saw
a
couple of images of them comparing them. Which I have to admit, my initial thoughts because I mean I don't remember The Lion King that way because I've only seen it once or twice, right? And I like it, but I'm not like this passionate fan about it. But I have to admit, like when I realised like halfway through the trailer that this was just the same shots as the original, I went, "This feels pointless."
No, there's a fair point to that.
I'm like, what's the point of this then?
Jungle Book ended up being very different.
It was. Jungle Book took something I didn't really care about and made just a solid movie out of it. I was impressed with Jungle Book.
Yeah. we've had a few of these, live action remakes now. Cinderella was, I think, one of the earlier ones of these, and that was a very accurate remake. It was, very much the same thing.
Speaking of cats, my one of mine is used to use the water tray, and it's the door's wide open, and the whiff. I got the whiff of it. There.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Cinderella was a very straight remake, but it was very good. Like, it was really well made, and it was enough to justify that. Yeah, this is perfectly enjoyable to watch.
Directed by Brana, as Matt would say.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's funny.
Coming later.
I might end up really liking this movie. I do, but I can't really get that excited for it because ultimately it just feels kind of pointless to me.
I'm excited in the sense of, well, I really like Favreau and I like what he did with Jungle Book, and holy crap, it looks gorgeous.
I have this just kind of like general layer of cynicism about Disney doing all these remakes, and I just can't shake that. Even though I thought Jungle Book was really good, I've not seen Cinderella. I've got no interest in seeing Cinderella. I've not seen. What else have they done? Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. That one was pretty good as well. Was probably my least favorite of the batch, but it's still solid.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what it is? I never really grew up in a lot of Disney animated movies, so I don't really have an attachment to. The only one I have an attachment to is Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah, you ain't getting a remake of that one.
Good, it should not be touched. It's perfect. That said, I'll take it if they do, because I want live action mouse talking with other mouse. Yes, with mice rather. Which, by the way, one of the first films with CGI in it, just for the record. Impressive stuff. I mean, that said though, how do you recast Ratkin? You don't have Vincent Price anymore. Like, what's the point? What's the point? Hell, even this one, even Lion King's bringing back James Earl Jones for.
Because why bother?
For Mufasa, yeah. Yeah, I can almost see them in the boardroom right now going, is James Earl Jones still alive? He is. Oh, good! Get him on the phone! Let's get this going, quick!
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
I suppose there's an upside to replacing Matthew Broderick with Donald Glover.
Do you know what? I really like a lot of the rest of the cast. And, all the names that flashed it up.
James Oliver, or James Oliver, yeah. Not Jamie Oliver.
John Oliver.
John Oliver, there you go. Look, I'm tired, folks, alright? Jamie Oliver's a chef, which is why I knew it wasn't right.
He is responsible for many a poor childhood memory.
Really?
I want my turkey Twizzlers back, damn it.
I guess this is just me being a few years older than you, but I don't remember Jamie Oliver being a thing until I was like in my teens.
He took the turkey Twizzlers out of schools, and I was not. Yeah, no one was happy about that. He made them. I don't know. Did you buy school lunches or did you take your own?
It depended on the day.
Right.
But by the time I got to high school, though, I went out for lunch. So.
Oh yeah. See, in my high school, we couldn't go out. We had to. It was bring your own or go to the school cafeteria, and he forced them to become healthy. And it's like, what's the point? I can't have my chips and my curry sauce. And I took that away from me. I'm still bitter.
Oh, the horror! I'm a fuss eater, and even I'm looking at Connor cynically right now with this attitude.
Look, it went from some really great, very unhealthy food, but really great tasting stuff to, all right, here's some stuff that's objectively healthier, but a lot more boring. It wasn't like it was really bad food. It was not as good.
I have no attachment to turkey Twizzlers, for the record. I don't give a shit.
Missing out.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah. I mean, the visuals look impressive. It looks kind of lifelike, but obviously still CG.
I'll put money on it winning VFX awards.
Very possibly, yeah. I guess what the weird thing to me here is, like, they're calling it a live action remake, and I'm like, well, technically, the background's a live action. I'll give you that.
Yeah, because it's the same as Jungle Book. Obviously, there was the one kid,
yeah,
and then it was all these sets that they created. It was very fantastic for studio sets. They looked amazing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but one kid, one live action actor is enough to say it's live action, right? That's This is still animated. It's just CG animated, and not
See, this is where it gets murky because obviously CG animation's a thing and it doesn't look like this. You think, just standard 3D CG animation, you get all the time in the cinema now. That's kind of like, the bulk of it. It's just...
I don't know. It's weird. I find it hard to be super excited.
No, I'm with you. I think it's a very good trailer in terms of what it is, and I think it looks very good. But
I mean, it recreates an already effective scene just with these new visuals. So,
right,
yeah, I mean, it flows well as a trailer. It builds up the hype as it goes, and it reaches the climax with Simba going up into the sky. It's the whole thing. But I don't know. It's hard to be super hyped. I'm finding it difficult to see the point. It's kind of like how Let Me In is actually a really solid movie, but it's other than a couple of sections, it's pretty much the same as Let the Right One In, which is just superior. And I'm like, why wouldn't I just watch the original one, which created the magic in the first place?
No, I agree.
So I don't know. It's weird. I'm
hoping that, okay, maybe this bit is kind of shot for shot, but it does different things and differentiate. So in the same way that Jungle Book really kind of became its own thing, I'm hoping I'll be surprised when I go to see it, because I will go and see it.
Who's playing Scar?
I'm not sure,
because it was Jeremy Irons in the original.
It was. I don't actually know who's playing Scar.
He's still around. You could get him back.
Yeah, it's definitely not him.
It's definitely not him. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like, if we're on the needle right now, I'm at like a 5.5, right? We don't usually do that in the trailer talk show, but
I mean, I'm probably at more like a 6.5, based on other information. Based on what Favreau did for the cast
and the director, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not necessarily just on what I'm seeing in this trailer.
I don't know. I guess this is just old man Peter yelling at clouds, but I saw the reaction to this trailer on the internet, and everyone was losing their minds.
People loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, people were loving it, and I'm just like, just recreate the scene from years ago.
Yeah. I'm not quite up there with those people.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be cynical. I'll be jaded and cynical. I get this, but all I see is Disney printing money, and I'm being cynical about it. All right.
They're very good at that, though, aren't they?
That said, I'll take 10 more Lion King remakes if they cancel Star Wars right now. So,
it's not.
Do it. Watch the CW and dare to defy Disney. Dare to defy.
Oh, I can't wait till they get their service and we have to watch Star Wars TV.
Yeah, so after episode 1, it'll be a solo Connor review series, just you watch.
Oh, we will see.
So confident. You're so confident that I'm going to find something to enjoy.
I think you might in one of them. The other one, maybe not.
What's the one you think I'll enjoy?
Mandalorian. I can see that working for your tastes.
Sure.
From everything we've heard.
The other one that has the actor playing the same character for the movie that I hated. There's
a bigger mountain to overcome. There is. I'm not disputing that.
Okay. That said, though, I am way more positive about The Lion King, because I still think there's a reasonable chance this will be solid, because Jungle Book was solid. It does look visually nice, so I can't... As much as I'm being jaded about the reason why it exists and the point of doing it, I think the end result...
That's the thing, even if it recreates it shot for shot, I mean, you're still going to end up with a good film.
The end result, I'm still pretty sure it'll probably be good, so I can't really be that negative. But on the other hand, also coming from Disney, we have Dumbo, directed by Tim Burton. And if you don't know me, I can't stand Tim Burton.
He hates Tim Burton more than he hates Star Wars.
Oh, no question. It's not even close. Tim Burton's movies could...
Look, I just wanted to set the benchmark, given how you just said how you wish Disney would cancel Star Wars and just give you more Lion King remakes. And this is, you hate far, far more.
Yeah, but I'm hardly going to ask Disney to assassinate Tim Burton so I don't have to put up with his movies anymore.
Why not?
Because I don't believe it, Kelly. Just blacklist him. That's all I'm asking. Just blacklist him.
Disney could do that. They've definitely got the power to do that.
No, I'm not a Tim Burton fan. I have no attachment to Dumbo. This trailer did nothing for me. Absolutely nothing.
I think it's fine, but I don't think it's a bad trailer. I think it hurts that the CG looks nowhere near the level of Lion King, and these trailers are pretty bad. These movies aren't going to be that far apart.
I just obviously it's done a lot of things sentimental, Dumbo flying, blah blah. Colin Farrell's in there. You got Michael Keaton, and so on.
It's a perfectly fine cast.
And I just don't like how it looks. I don't like the visuals. I don't like the style of it, which is not surprising because that's what I don't like about Tim Burton.
No, I get that. I don't think it looks amazing. I'll probably still watch it because, of course, I will.
Oh, I'm not. I'm staying far away. I unless forced, I have avoided every Tim Burton movie since the 90s.
Okay.
You're not going to force me. You can't do shit.
Oh, I've got a plan.
For what? You're not going to waste some malevolent, convoluted plan on Dumbo?
Not Dumbo, but just a Tim Burton movie in general. I'll decide which one. Maybe Dumbo. We'll see how bad it is.
I mean, you'll probably get the Batman movies out of me at some point just because...
Well, yeah, but it's Batman. You've seen those.
I would be passionate to talk about those. But yeah, even those I don't really like that much. Especially Return. I think Batman Returns is just straight up garbage, but...
You are straight up wrong.
Batman Returns is garbage. I hate that movie.
That's going to be a debate for the ages.
I didn't realise you liked it so much.
I don't love it, but I think it's pretty good.
Nah, it's garbage. Straight up garbage. The only redeeming factor of that movie is Christopher Walken hamming it up. That's the only redeeming factor. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about Dumbo. It does the plot. It's got the sentimental kind of tone to it.
It's actually a very straightforward trailer, and it's not that exciting.
It's got like the golden glow, sepia almost tint to the. I mean, it's not sepia overall, but it's in color, but it's got like a sepia kind of glow to it.
It does. It's like someone just started putting the sepia filter on.
Yes, just a touch, just so that it was always there, but
yeah. Really high transparency, but it's just there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to defend Dumbo that much. I got nothing on this one. Sorry.
Yeah, can we do a thing where we swap Dumbo and Mufasa right before Mufasa gets killed in Lion King, and let Dumbo fall to his death?
So you want to kill the baby elephant? I mean, Dumbo will just fly.
He can't fly for most of the movie. That's the point. He has to build up to it.
You drop a bird off a cliff, it's going to figure it out pretty quick.
No, he's not. He's still dead. He's hitting that pit with the hyenas, and he's dead. That's what's happening. And it's a fictional baby elephant before people at me. It's fine.
Oh, I can't wait to see your Twitter.
And while we're at it, Bambi's mum had it coming as well. So I don't think I've actually seen Bambi, but I'm familiar with the. Like I said, I didn't grow up in Disney animated movies. They hold very little value to me.
Nor did I, for the most part.
They don't appeal to me. So it's all whimsical and.
Bambi's not really that whimsical.
Okay, Bambi just looks boring. I'll be honest. So we have a bit of deer. Like, what?
Sorry, your favourite Disney movie is a movie about a mouse. What's your problem here?
Mice are far more... Okay, first of all, it's a mouse detective. And secondly, mice are far more interesting than deer.
Says who?
Everyone!
No, they don't.
They do. If nothing else, a mouse is good fodder for a cat chase. At worst, that's what a mouse is good for.
At worst, deer are good for hunting, clearly. That's what happens to Bambi's mum.
I have no attachment to hunting either, quite frankly.
Nor do I.
I have no interest in it. But, nah, it wasn't hunting anyway. They'd like to say that. I think Bambi killed someone's kid, and this was a revenge story. Someone came back years later for revenge to take out the deer that murdered his sweet little child.
Sorry, Bambi murdered the kid.
Yes.
Bambi is like.
Oh, sorry, Bambi's mum. Bambi's mum. You know what I meant? The deer that was shot.
I thought this is really dark. It's like you killed my kids, I'm gonna kill your mom.
That works too. I'll take it.
I thought that's where you're going. I'm like, you do realize the timeline here.
If anything, the gunshot was too merciful. Should have been something slower.
We really need to move on.
This is how little I've got to say about Dumbo. I'm talking about killing Bambi's mum in worse ways than a gunshot.
Exactly, which is why we need to move on.
No, I just Dumbo. Next up, we had Lego Movie 2. Real younger audience kind of vibe we got here for the first bunch of trailers. Even the next one, technically. So, Lego Movie 2 was the second trailer. I don't think we talked about the first trailer, did we?
I don't remember.
If we don't remember doing it, which is not a good sign. The one thing I do recall, though, about the first trailer is I don't know if it was on this show, I remember critiquing that I thought it was weird that the movie's plot was around the interesting character being the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
I remember making that complaint. I don't know if it was on here. I still have that complaint. Like this trailer just made it even more like, you know, he's like, oh, we have to go save her. That's the plot.
Yeah.
And he meets like a copy of himself who's basically just Chris Pratt, also voiced by Chris Pratt.
I did think that was an amusing little joke, the meta referencing.
Yeah. I am going to get so much hate in the comments for being a negative get on this episode.
You are, aren't you?
But I'm sorry. Like, Lego Movie was okay.
It was fantastic.
I'll be honest, I kind of fell asleep for like 20 minutes in the middle. The ending was interesting. But it wasn't even the second best animated movie of the year it came out. I'll make that clear. I have very little interest in seeing Lego Movie 2. It looks fine. It looks fine, but I'm not feeling it. Do you know what I think it is? I'll be honest. I think the visual style actually just... I think why I fell asleep is because the visual style just bores me. I am not engaged with
the Lego.
The Lego. How those characters move. The animation. It just bores me visually. I'm not stimulated.
There is no pleasing you today.
There is no pleasing me today. Actually, there is. There's some stuff coming up that will please me.
Oh, bloody hope so.
But
this
not
is
in this
really
early section.
We are 20 minutes into this, and I don't think you've said a positive thing yet.
They'll come up. There'll be some positive at some point.
Okay.
At least within the next 3 trailers. Maybe?
Okay. Look, I'm a big fan of Lego Movie. I think this one probably won't be as good. It won't quite have the same heart to it, I don't think. But if it's funny and enjoyable, I'm down. And I think for the most part, it looks like that will be the case.
Yeah. I have very little desire to see it, honestly. It's kind of like it's fine. It looks like it'll please people who like it, and I'm not mad that it exists. Or, you know, it's not like when a new Star Wars movie comes out, I'm like, oh my god, let it die. It's like, fine, whatever. Like, people like Lego, go enjoy your Lego. But after seeing the first one, it's kind of like, I can see the merit in it, but I just don't think it's for me. Yeah. That's kind of where I land on
the first one was a real surprise movie for me, because, you know, I'm like, oh, it's a Lego movie. It's like, it's a giant advert. And, I mean, it kind of is, let's be honest. And that's fine. But I expect it to just be a giant advert. And then it actually had some heart to it, and it had some interesting things to say. And it was really fun. It really took me by surprise. So I'm kind of going into this one kind of expecting... I'm back down here. I'm not expecting it to be anything amazing. I'm going, okay, that one was a huge success, so now here's the advert. But if it's at least fun and enjoyable, I'll be all right with that.
And for the record, the other animated films that came out in the same year were How to Train Your Dragon 2 and Big Hero 6, both of which were vastly superior. And I will fight anyone on it.
I agree that both of those are better than Lego Movie. I wouldn't say vastly, but they're both better.
It's fine. I will treat you the meaning of the word vastly later, and we'll be in agreement. So, but yeah. Again, I don't have a whole lot to say beyond just my general feelings on Lego Movie as a concept. The trailer itself has a lot of quick jokes, has some moments. It makes a point of pointing out Batman and Superman are there again, and setting that stuff up.
Fun little referencing.
But it's mainly the duplicate Chris Pratt who's actually been all the Chris Pratt characters, and by the sounds of it, also Indiana Jones, because everyone jokes about him becoming Indiana Jones.
I think so, yeah.
Which is neat. Like, it's a neat joke, but
It is.
I can't help but feel that you make the vastly more interesting character the damsel in distress, and you take the boring main character and double them. I don't know. Something about that just feels ass backwards to me.
Oh, that's fair enough. I can't really argue with that.
But hey.
But Chris Pratt sells, even when you can't see his face.
Yeah, sure. Fallen Kingdom did do not as good as Jurassic World, but it did.
But still pretty
big
good.
Numbers. But we'll see. These projects keep falling through though. Guardians 3's been kind of shelved. Cowboy Ninja Vikings been kind of shelved.
That's the one I'm really disappointed at.
Hey. Next up, we had Once Upon a Deadpool. This is unique in that... Now, obviously, I put this in here because I thought it was interesting to talk about, not because it's like, oh, it's a trailer for a movie that we've not seen yet.
Yeah.
Right. So they're re-releasing Deadpool 2 as a PG-13 cut, but they've shot some new stuff for it, like a framing device, where Deadpool is reading the story to adult Fred Savage, because he, of course, was a big childhood star in his youth, and... He's doing it, and specifically, I think the Princess Bride was when he was being read to.
Yes.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Which I've seen Princess Bride. I don't remember those scenes. I have to admit.
Yeah, that's the framing device for that movie.
Oh no, I believe you, but I remember, my name is Inigo Montoya, prepare to die. I remember that. I remember, the swashbuckling things.
It's an awful boring movie, but
I don't know if I agree with that. It's an okay movie.
Sorry, I'm evening it out, so I get some of the hate as well. We're in this together.
I mean, it's better than Dumbo.
I haven't seen Dumbo yet, so I can't agree to that.
I saw Dumbo when I was a kid, and I thought it was a boring ass movie.
Okay, I thought you were on about the Tim Burton one.
No. I'll talk about the animated movie.
No, that's better. That's better than Princess Bride.
Oh no, I bored the crap out of me as a kid. Because I think I saw the start of Bambi and I gave up like 20 minutes in when I was a kid.
you got to the shooting and went, right, I'm done now.
Yeah, all the exciting stuff's gone. I can move on. I have no idea what the end of Bambi is. I have no idea what the arc for Bambi as a character is. What happens at the end? Does he get over his mum's death? Does he hunt? I mean, if he hunts down the hunters and impales them with his antlers, then I'm into it.
I want to see that movie.
I'm into that. So yeah, you get to see some of this. And what's funny is Fred Savage is playing himself in this recut of Deadpool 2. Yeah. And he's complaining. And there's a fun joke at the end where Deadpool's trying to convince him, oh no, I need you to tell you this story, you need me. It's like, I don't need you. It's like, yes I do. And he just lifts up the bed covers and he's like, you need me to untie you when I'm finished. Yeah, it was a cute joke. It is a movie you've already seen though. So, I mean, will I ever watch this cut? Probably not.
I think I probably will. One, out of just curiosity as to how
here's a question.
PG-13 cut. How much do they have to cut out to make it function?
Does this get a separate disc release or a home release, or is there just going to be a special edition that includes both cuts that you can just sell to people as a package?
The cynic in me says both. It'll get its own release first, and then the double pack.
Yeah.
I think because it's only releasing for like 2 weeks in the cinemas, right?
Yeah, it's really limited.
I think it's 12 days. And I think as I read that they're donating a lot of the profits of it to charity. So
yeah, I think it's $1 off every ticket goes to cancer research or something to that effect.
Yeah, so I'll probably
which makes sense because Deadpool has cancer. Thematically, it ties in with the character a little bit.
Right. I'll probably go see it in the cinema just out of one, curiosity, just to see how it functions and how much had to be cut out, and two, well, there are worse causes.
I enjoyed Deadpool 2 well enough. I don't know if I enjoyed it enough to go see it again though.
Fair enough.
So yeah, but I appreciate that. If they're doing this for a good cause, then by all means, yeah.
It feels like there's been some effort at least put into this, rather than just slapping a Christmas logo on it and going, "Here you go."
Oh, I did laugh. Apparently, a fan tweeted to Ryan Reynolds this idea like 2 years ago.
I saw.
I didn't bother looking into it too much, but I saw that headline and just sort of giggled. But in the tweet, he did say, "Hey, you should use this to do with Deadpool." And I'm like, technically, that's permission. So
you screwed yourself.
You don't like to stand up.
Yeah.
If you just said, "Here's a good idea," but not given permission, then he could be suing them right now.
Yeah.
Because it'd be on record.
It would.
So the tweet. But yeah, anyway, so next up we had a trailer for Artemis Fowl, which I had no idea what this was when I clicked on it. It turns out to be a Disney movie about a kid. I assume this is based on like a book.
It is. I read these. There's a series of books. I read them. Now, this trailer does not portray really what I remember.
I mean, I don't really know what I got from this, other than some kid is maybe the chosen one, and he discovers kind of Harry Potter-esque and other fantasy books where there's a whole other world that Earth's not aware of, and it's all these fancy flying ships and shit. And he's got like a suit at one point, and he's got like this like laser gun, and it's like, oh, he's like a secret agent, spy, super laser dude.
Okay, is that all you got from it?
Something like that. I don't know.
All right, okay. I'm going to tell you what I remember from the books and what it actually is.
Because just the thumbnail on YouTube for this trailer is him in a suit, you know, black tie, white shirt, and he's holding like a laser gun. And he's got sunglasses on as well, I think. That's the thumbnail.
So, Artemis Fowl is like a 12-year-old kid.
He comes from
12. A family. Yeah. He comes from a family of criminal masterminds. He's like, you know, like smartest kid, you know, that sort of thing.
Okay, I can see that one.
Evil
Yeah.
as shit. He discovers that he's evil as shit.
Oh, he's evil as shit. Okay.
Yeah, basically he discovers there's a whole other world. It's actually much more magical. It's all like I think it's with the fairy world, but there's all these other stuff. They've got pretty advanced technology as well. Though.
Yeah, a little more sci-fi to me in the trailer, but I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of that sci-fi fantasy blend, and he basically wants to rob them because fairy gold is worth a shitload.
This is selling me on it way more than the trailer did.
The author. What got me to read it when I was younger, the author pitched it himself as Die Hard with fairies.
But he's the Hans Gruber, the kid.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, he is.
Interesting. The trailer, I don't think, told me he was the villain.
No. I don't think it's that good a trailer.
It's not. Really it's basically, here's a lot of money shots, here's some very vague comments about what's going on, and that's about it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is directed by Kenneth Branagh. And,
oh, really? Oh, there you go.
And obviously, people went, oh, it's a fantasy thing, it's this kids thing, right? Are you taking a lot of inspiration from your experiences that you'd worked with on Harry Potter? And he went, no, not really. I'm using a lot of my work on Thor in the idea of blending the fantasy and sci-fi elements.
What does Kenneth Branagh have to do with Harry Potter?
He was in Harry Potter. He didn't direct them, but he was Lockhart in the second one.
It's been so long, I don't remember him at all. But...
Well, he was.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, do. But yeah, so he was talking about how it's a lot more similar to his work on Thor in terms of blending the sci-fi and the fantasy elements to try and make this cohesive thing. And I think in terms of you criticized other things about Thor, but I think those things were achieved in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, my critique of this trailer is kind of what the point we were getting at there is that I don't really feel like I entirely knew what it was about. I kind of I saw vague things and I pieced it together based on, because it looked like a young adult book that had been adapted, and I just kind of based on every other young adult trailer movie I've seen. No,
I agree. This is not a great trailer. It's really not.
So I assumed the kid had discovered this world and he was some kind of chosen one and he was helping save Fairy Lady.
No, not at all. He's trying to rob the bastards.
Unless they've really changed the premise.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. I doubt they've changed it that much.
Yes. I suppose they should probably change the title. It shouldn't be Artemis Fowl. It should be Artemis Fair. If he's actually not a bad guy in this one. Do you know what? This premise actually sounds good to me. If I got a really witty thing about an evil 12-year-old who steals from people and he's a little shithead, I could get into that. But I'm not going to trust that this Disney-produced movie is going to be about a little shithead.
That's fair.
I want him headshotting fairies with his gun.
Oh, he wants to. That's the whole thing. He gets arrested pretty early on, and it's he gets here's your liaison, and he's like, oh, he just wants to rob the bastards. It's great. Honestly, it's really good. Or at least the books are. I don't know what this is going to be, but right. I'm hopeful based on my past experience.
That'll take us on to Arctic, which is a Mads Mikkelsen film, and it is foreign as well. I'm going to assume it's
Danish.
Yeah, I assume Danish because he's Danish. But
the things that pop up look Danish,
Yeah. But it's him trapped, presumably in the Arctic, given the title.
You would think.
But regardless, it doesn't really matter that much. The point is that it's a snowy landscape, and he's stranded there, and he's trying to survive, and he's writing big SOS signs, and it looks like a survival thriller, man versus nature, harsh cold weather, and it's Mads Mikkelsen,
doing his thing,
on his own seemingly, probably with little dialogue because it's just him.
Yeah.
And on those fronts, it looks good. I'm being positive. This is the first one I'm being just outright positive.
This looks great.
I have no caveats. This looks good. It's just a good trailer.
Yeah, and we've seen Mads give silent performances in the past.
Oh, we have, yeah. Valhalla Rising.
Yeah,
comes to mind.
And he is phenomenal in that movie.
No, I can see this being good. And I assume this is coming out in February in its original country because at the end it said like forever something, and I was like, is that what February is?
Yeah, I assumed February as well. So
it was like forever with like an E at the end, and then like whatever the number was. February. Yes.
Yeah, it was like the 6th, I think.
To any Danish audience members, I apologise for butchering your language.
Yes. It says le 6 février. So it's got to be the 6th of February.
I imagine so. If that turns out to be March, I will be amused.
Yeah, if this turns out to be anything but the 6th of February, Danes, what is wrong with you?
Hey, maybe the language is the right one, and maybe like all the other languages
everyone else is
got
wrong.
it wrong. Yeah, that's possible.
It is. It's
because
like which way you drive on the road.
Because maybe in Australia, like maybe Hungry Jack's is the right name for Burger King. Maybe everyone else has got it wrong.
Yeah, it could be.
What was the other? Australia has a stupid name for Rice Krispies as well. I forget what it is though.
Yeah, but Australia also has Stan.
Stan, yes, the streaming service that they had before Netflix. Yes. But yeah, no, our tale looks good. It looks like a survival thriller. It looks like one that will be told almost entirely visually because it is just one person on their own. Yeah. And the visuals look quite nice. It was making use of the harsh white, landscapes.
Yeah, I'm down.
So yeah, cool. Next up, we have a trailer for The Informer, which is a movie about an informant for the FBI who ends up in a situation where he's with like the criminals that he's informing on, and they're making this deal with a guy who turns out to be an undercover cop, and the informer, quite rightly tries to warn him, like, if you are a cop, if you're heading, leave now because they will kill you. But then he doesn't, and he ends up getting shot. So it becomes this weird political thing where they don't want the NYPD to find out that an FBI informant was present during the murder of a cop, but they want the informant to go into prison to try and find this big bad guy and prove that drugs are going out of the prison. But then they're going to maybe burn them and whatever else.
We're back to the negativity, right? Because this looks generic as shit.
It does. No, it doesn't look good. But I wanted to just I don't like when it comes to explaining plots of trailers. I don't like giving away the positive or negative impression whilst I'm explaining the plot. I like to get that in neutral.
But sometimes when you ramble and you're like, yeah, there's that too. You can't help it.
Sometimes, but I was withholding my impressions. Yes, it looks bad. Joel Kinnaman is the lead. Who I think is
sign of a stellar movie.
I think he's okay in a supporting role. I actually think he's a fine side character.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him as an actor. I don't think he can carry a movie.
But everything I've seen with him as the lead has been questionable.
Yeah. Joe always tells me a sign of you don't have anything to really attach to your movie name-wise.
Mm-hmm.
When it does from the producer of.
Sure. That said, though, you see some really big budget stuff have that as well.
You do. But when it's not going, here's director and stuff like that, or writer of, it's producer. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Rosamund Pike's in this as well.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
No, she's pretty good, but I still don't expect this to be good.
No.
It looks really generic. He's got a loving family because we opened on a scene where he's playing with his daughter, and then the phone goes and everything goes dead silent. It's like, oh no, he's been called in.
So generic.
Yeah, it's really generic. So I'm like, oh, what a surprise! This turned into a thriller after that scene. I could never have predicted that. Like,
I mean, it probably says thriller in the trailer description.
Oh, probably.
Not in the title, at least. I'll give you that one. Some of them do.
Yeah, sometimes they do, to try and make you want to watch it.
You go, oh, it's a thriller. I'll watch that.
I like thrillers. I don't like this other thing, but I like thrillers. Yes, I'll watch this. But yeah, so that is The Informer. Looks very generic. Next up, The Party's Just Beginning. This is Karen Gillan starring and directing. I think it's her directorial debut.
Yeah, I remember hearing some buzz about this back at festival seasons.
Yeah, and she's in it. She's a star as well. She's the main character. She's directing herself. It is set in Scotland, and she's a bit of a wreck. It's a coming of age story about a wreck who's in her late 20s, early 30s, and she's got a drinking problem and can't.
So what you're saying is she's Scottish.
She can't connect to people. Oh, we're talking about. I don't have a drinking problem.
You're the rare exception to the rule. Although,
coming from you, this is rich.
Other Scotsmen would say you do have a drinking problem, that your problem is that you don't drink.
Do you know, I think what people don't understand, if you're from elsewhere in the world, right, I think what you have to understand is that for some reason England has a lot of weird stereotypes about Scotland, none of which are actually true. The movie is it looks kind of good. Like it's one of those ones where it's going for this very sort of stark, drama kind of style, and
it's one of those that doesn't really translate to trailers very well.
Yeah, it's got a couple of moments of humor. It seems to have a good directorial style, and it has a bit of a sense of humor because she's kind of a grumpy, jaded person who's wisecracking comments at people.
Yeah,
it's one though that it's hard to get a sense of the I don't know, the overall quality just from the trailer.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is going to come down to pacing of the movie, and that's something you just can't judge from a trailer.
Yeah, pacing and performance, and it looks like Karen Gillan's doing a good job. Like, she doesn't look bad in this. And it's one of the quotes that comes up says she's a force to be reckoned with, or a tour de force, or whatever the phrase was, something to that effect. And yeah, I don't doubt it necessarily. Like, I think she can be that. So
yeah, she's very good. I'm definitely interested in seeing it.
Yeah, no, I'm curious. It's one where I'm not sure what the how good the end result's going to be, but I'm curious enough to want to find out.
Yeah. And there's some downright gorgeous shots, especially with her on the bridge.
Yeah, there seems to be a guilt element here. There seems to have been something bad that happened where someone died like a year ago, and that seems to be one of the driving forces for her current mood and
state of mind. Yeah.
That's it. I did relate to the final moment of the trailer. I did relate to quite a bit, where she peeked out the curtain a little bit and saw daylight and went, "No, let's not go out there." Next up, we had The Intruder, not to be confused with The Informer, which was 2 trailers ago.
Do you know, you sent me the list of trailers, as you always do. I was, clicking on them. I was, scrolling down because I sent you a message at one point to reply. I scrolled back up, and I nearly missed these two, The Intruder and the last one, because I went to go on the one after this, thinking that this was the last one I'd watched when it was The Informer.
Yeah, very similar to it, especially when they're written close together. They look very similar in length and size. Because a T and an F aren't a million miles away on a computer font. But anyway, so this is a thriller where Megan Good and her husband buy a house, and the old owner of the house, played by Dennis Quaid, and he loves this house, and he's had to be selling it, but he has to because his wife died or whatever, and he goes on his way. That's all fine. But then he starts showing up the next day, mowing the lawn as if he still owns the house, and he keeps still showing up. He keeps still appearing. So therefore, he is the titular intruder. And then it's implied later on in the trailer that he's also got the hots for Megan Good, which whatever. But my biggest problem with this trailer, no, I don't think the movie looks good anyway. I think it looks like a really kind of crappy generic thriller.
I agree.
My biggest problem with the trailer though is I feel like it went through the entire movie.
Yeah. There's a moment that outright made me laugh, and not in a good way.
Is it where Dennis Quaid just appears standing behind like a tree or something at one point?
Yep. Yeah, and it does this big sting in the music, and I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? Where did this come from?
Yeah. No, it's definitely trashy in some respects. But my big problem is that I felt as this trailer kept going, it kept bringing in new plot elements, and I'm like, surely this is stuff you should just save for the movie. And it got to the point, like even the whole idea that he's infatuated with Megan Good, it feels like second half stuff.
Yeah, because it started with, oh, he's moved out, but okay, he's a bit weird. He doesn't really realize. Then it's, oh, his wife died, and maybe he killed her.
Yeah, like honestly, yes. Have the fact that he's showing up, being weird, and then maybe imply that he's dangerous. That's your trailer. Stop there.
Yeah.
But no, this
Everything
kept
after
going.
that is just like, why?
The final shot of this trailer, he's knocked out Megan Good, and he's carrying her upstairs like she's a bride.
Do you know what is something that's really bad about this trailer? Is I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like 90% of this is sequential for the movie. A lot good trailers will cut around, take bits from random points of the movie and create something out of it. This just feels like someone went through and picked a scene every 10 minutes, took a few seconds, and went, yep, that'll do.
Yeah. No, it does. It feels like it spelled out the movie. I mean, maybe if you actually watch the movie, you'll be like, oh no, they filled us with the order in the trailer, because it could happen. It's happened in other movies where I'm convinced things happen before other things and they don't. But this feels like it is just like, here's the movie laid out on a plan.
It does.
So no, that's The Intruder. Doesn't look very good. Next up, we have a trailer for a film called Piercing, which a bit more stylized, a bit more unique in its tone. It seems to be a character who's asking for advice on how to kill someone. He wants to kill someone, and he picks a prostitute played by Mia Wasikowska. And the movie seems to be, this is what I was getting from the trailer, it seems to be, as they're planning, we see how all the different plans would play out.
Yeah, I get that.
Because we see, like, oh, this is what will happen if you do this and you trap her in a hotel room. Here's what will happen if she tries to stall for time. Here's what will happen if she actually wants to be killed and she's into it. Here's what will happen if she is scared and tries to run. And it felt like we were seeing all these different scenarios. And I get the feeling that there might be a real thing by the time we get to the end. But a lot of the movie will be seeing how each version plays out.
Yeah.
But it's got this quirky kind of macabre kind of feel to it, where it's like, oh, we're talking about killing, but we're not necessarily like completely demonizing the main character either. It's got this kind of quirky, yeah, why not kind of feel to it.
Yeah. I really wanted to like this trailer more than I did. In terms of the tone and everything, it feels like I should be really into this. And it just wasn't quite clicking for me. I can't quite put my finger on why.
That's fair. I think I like the first half of the trailer more than the second half of the trailer.
I agree with that.
Well, once it started speeding up and showing me lots of different versions of things, I felt like it was overloading me with information, which might be fine in the movie, because obviously the movie will
have its own pace, yeah.
But I felt like the first half, where it was just kind of the awkward him like trying to get her back in the room. There was just the right amount of like dark, but also kind of funniness to it. It was like kind of almost slapsticky the way he's trying to get this woman who's like kind of half drugged walking around.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like it was definitely playing with dark humor. It was definitely giving this tone to a subject that's different than normal.
Yeah.
So and then the idea that she may actually get the one up on him, and he's the one who's really in danger.
Yeah, I thought it went a bit too far with that for the trailer. It's like I didn't really see all like there's all these bits where he's like in danger, all these different versions where he's in danger. It's like clearly these are the end points to a lot of these scenarios do not go well for him.
Yeah, so that's
like, okay, maybe didn't need that.
Yeah, so that's called Piercing. Next up, we had a trailer for a Chinese film called The Wandering Earth, which is being dubbed as their first big budget science fiction blockbuster. Right, that's how it's being dubbed. And it kind of looks the part. It looks visually quite nice. It
does, doesn't it?
There's a lot going on.
There's style in the trailer, even the way the title cards come up, the logos and the names.
Yeah, they
come up on this starry background, and it feels like when it cuts to them, it's got a sense of style to that.
Yeah, I think this is based on a book actually, if I'm right. But it's about Earth is gone to shit. The sun's starting to kill us. Everything's getting colder. And we see at one place like -84 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, they're all wearing suits just to keep warm.
Yeah, and when we say suits, we were talking full on like astronaut level suits here to keep warm. And it's basically about them trying to leave Earth. One of the final shots of the trailer is all the rockets leaving the planet. So I don't know how far it goes. Like I wonder, is just getting off the planet at the end, or is that Act 1? Is the movie about landing on Mars? Is the movie about landing somewhere else?
Yeah, I would hope Act 1, based on the fact that we see all the rockets. But I mean, no guarantee, right?
Yeah. I totally had restraint, and this is just mostly Act 1 stuff we're seeing in this. But the visuals are really nice. Like their sets, the designs of their ships and their their vehicles and stuff all look quite nice.
It's got a great aesthetic to it. I'm kind of excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm into it. The trailer's actually a month old, but I discovered it this week and I felt interested enough to just talk about it anyway.
It said come in Chinese New Year, which I think is February.
That sounds about right.
It's usually early February, I think.
Is it? Yeah. Late January, early February, I'm sure, yeah. So
yeah.
That kind of range.
I mean, I don't know when we'll get it. If that's...
Yeah, that'll be obviously the Chinese release. I mean, who knows when the rest of the world will get access to it, but sometime later in the year, I imagine. But,
yeah, hopefully not too late, because it looks pretty good, and I want to watch it.
Yeah, no, it does look good. It's a proper heavy sci-fi movie. Like everything feels designed.
It does.
You know, at one point they go by the Beijing 2044 Olympic Stadium.
Yes.
Which is a neat little touch. So, speaking of sci-fi, though, we also had a film called Beyond White Space with the dude from Mindhunter.
Yeah.
And it took me a second to realise it was him because he's got a completely different sort of hairstyle and kind of demeanour. But I remember talking about this in the movie news actually when it was first being poised. It is a movie about a team of I don't know if they're quite hunters. I think they're actually more like either cargo haulers or thieves or something like that. But they're going after a celestial being because the main guy wants revenge.
That's honestly the trailer lost me. The opening 20 seconds are all right. There's this monologue going over the top, and it's like setting up this the white space. This is why you don't go in there, or
celestial being,
what you've got to avoid. And then it's like, oh, I'm not going in there for whatever reason that everyone else does. It's like I'm going in there for revenge. And I just went, ugh.
I mean, I like the concept of this movie more than I like how it looks. Because the concept of the premise in the description back when we talked about it in the news was basically, well, it's either all or nothing, right? Either they go home empty-handed or they try and kill something that's deemed unkillable and get the biggest payday they've ever had. And I'm like, okay, I kind of like that as a premise. Like, go for it. Do your Moby Dick in space. It's fine.
It is Moby Dick in space. Mobius Dick.
Very good. Very good. But it does feel like a cheaper sci-fi movie, though. I mean, not to say that the effects look bad necessarily. I thought some of the ship stuff looked quite fine, actually.
Yeah, I think it's more in the writing that feels cheap.
Writing and just the general overall quality of the acting, I think, just felt a bit in the low budget side. So
it did.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's probably going to be that good. I'd probably still give it a try when it hits, but
oh sure.
But it is. Yeah, I'm not feeling Beyond White Space as a surefire hit necessarily, even though it's ticking a lot of the boxes. Which will take us on to the final trailer of the week, which is not really for a full movie per se, but this was so unique and weird that I had to put it in here to talk about. Because the reason why I think it's interesting is because this is directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
It has Michelle Rodriguez in it. It has Norman Reedus in it. And it's a VR experience. It's a VR movie where you're like the main character and like you're looking at the actors and they're doing things and they're running around. There's some action scenes and stuff. But it looks atrocious. It looks like absolute garbage. It looks like the most low budget thing ever. There's a moment in this trailer where Norman Reedus in his weird gloves catches a bullet and it looks ridiculously silly.
It does. Do you know what? It keeps going, oh, it's an experience unlike any other.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever tried this before. And all I can go is, it's just Hardcore Henry. It's Hardcore Henry. You just put it on VR devices.
Sure, yeah.
Because the VR itself isn't actually... You could watch this on a TV. This trailer proves I could just watch this on the TV. It's not making any difference.
Yeah, it just looks like garbage.
Yeah,
that's why I think it's interesting to talk about is that this movie was made specifically for VR, but it looks like shit. But it was made by an actual director. That's what I didn't get when it came up at the end that Robert Rodriguez directed it. I was kind of like, wait, what? This looks like some hack job who's never done a movie before made this.
I know, but I don't understand because Hardcore. Did you ever watch Hardcore Henry?
No.
It was all right actually. It was not bad. It wasn't the best movie ever, but it was enjoyable, and. You could put that on VR, right? And you would get the same effect as what this is going for.
Mm.
So Why would, if I had a VR headset, which obviously I don't, but if I did, why would I watch this thing when I could watch, clearly a better version of pretty much the exact same. It has almost identical shots at points with some of the first person view stunts.
I mean, I don't know why this exists. I don't know if it's Rodriguez wants to experiment with new technology. I don't know if it's some weird deal with his production company, with Samsung VR or whoever's financing it and wants them to do it. Because I feel like because they want as many people to experience it, I imagine it'll be available in the cheapest form of VR possible, which is the whole phone VR headset thing.
I'm almost certain, yeah.
Which, whatever. But yeah, it just looks like bad.
That's right.
That's why I wanted to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it because it was a VR movie. I wanted to talk about it because it looks like absolute garbage, and it's directed by an actual director who's made proper movies.
It tells you at the very, because at the end, it goes into all this information about all the special features and stuff that come with it.
Yes, chapters are listed in the features. Chapters are not special features. Chapters are just a standard.
Yeah, no matter what Lynch says. But my point was, there's a bit at the end of that tells you all the devices it's on.
All right, okay.
It's on everything.
Yeah.
Oculus, Google Play, Steam, Daydream, iOS, PlayStation VR, Vive, Samsung.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But no, I seriously, watch this. The link to the trailers are always in the description. Watch the Limit trailer because it looks like absolutely absurd. It looks so cheap. It looks like fake sets. It looks like they went to the cheapest place possible they could film. Everything about it feels like a direct-to-video, no-budget movie that the Sci-Fi Channel would have made 5 years ago. Worse even.
Some of the writing is atrocious. Oh, here's your teeth.
Oh yeah, that scene, yes, that one's. It was almost like they wanted to make it as stupid as possible, just because it's the novelty of VR. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of cutscenes that you used to get in Sega CD games when the whole FMV video game thing took off. It reminds me of cutscenes from that sort of stuff.
Okay, we're just went, because we can.
Because we can. Yeah, that's what it feels like. We'll do this because we can, not because there's actually any merit to experiencing this at all.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, looks awful.
But that's the limit. So, and I've reached my limit. So let's pick our favourite trailer of the episode. I didn't like a lot of these things this week. I'm going with The Wandering Earth. That was easily the thing that stuck out to me as the most. Arctic looks good.
Yeah.
Party's Just Beginning looks like it could be promising. Piercing could be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with all those options. I think the piercing goes a little bit too far in the trailer. It could be a really good film, but it loses me as a trailer. It's probably Arctic or Wandering Earth. Those are the short ones that get to the point, really sell the movie. I think I'll go with Arctic, just to be slightly different to you.
All right. I actually think the worst trailer is Artemis Fowl. It's not necessarily the worst movie that'll come out of these trailers, but I think it's the worst trailer. Because at least The Limit, I understood exactly what it was by the time I'd finished it.
No, I agree with that, because you didn't get any of the premise from that teaser. No. And I know what it is meant to be. And I'm like, okay, that was a trailer technically, I guess. It was awful as a trailer.
Yeah. So I'm preparing for the hate for all my negativity on Lion King, Dumbo, and Lego Movie. It's it's not my fault they put all these trailers out in the same week. It'd be nice if they mixed it up with something I really liked, and I could have a bit of ups and downs.
Yeah. What's the? It's because Wreck-It Ralph's just out, and they want to put them all with Wreck-It Ralph. It's like, hey kids, here's what's coming in the next year.
That makes sense.
That doesn't explain Lego Movie as much, but.
Oh, speaking of, Into the Spider-Verse is getting very good reviews, just on the subject of animated stuff.
It is. I believe they're doing early charity showings in a week or so. I might try and go to one, because I'm actually really excited for that one. It's a good year for animation.
You don't even like Spider-Man that much.
No, but it looks like a great movie. I really like the trailer.
All right. But, hey, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, that's not even related to anything in this episode. I just thought I'd mention it since it was on my mind. But that is us. That has been Trailer Talk. So by all means, go over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv. If you want to support the channel, the show, and everything we do here, you can do it over there for as little as $1 per month. You get some bonuses and yada yada yada. Liking and subscribing is also very important. It helps with YouTube's algorithms and actually, makes us show up in results and recommended videos and all that kind of thing. But otherwise, that's us. So get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates as well. But that's us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching movies, guys, and we'll see you next time.